You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the Podcast Mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, Phil Better, the Podcast Mogul, and I am blessed. Guys, I am honored to have Raj Singh, the expert in exclusive PR. Sir, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's been a busy day, a very busy day, if I'm honest. And it's evening here, so it's 7 p.m. should I say, not 7 a.m. I'm getting my time zones wrong.
It's 7 a.m. over on the West Coast.
Yeah. So you can tell it's been a very long day, you know.
Yes.
Just being on Clubhouse, been networking, and been speaking to a few clients. So there's a lot of potentials hopefully coming my way. So yeah, it's been a very busy day. It's been good.
Yes, and speaking of Clubhouse, that's how we met. We have a colleague, a client of mine and a friend of yours, Tate Anderson, the $1 billion man himself, who put us in contact. And having been on his podcast with you quite a few times and hearing your story and piecemealed out through episodes, I wanted to get you on the podcast so that we can talk about it, because it's an awesome story. And also what you do, your business is also incredibly interesting to me, because it's kind of coalesces beside mine in a way. So Raj, how about you give us just a bit of an introduction about yourself and your business?
Sure. So my name is Raj Singh, and I'm a UK-born Punjabi individual. My mum and dad are from 2 different countries. So my dad is from India, Punjab. My mum's from East Africa. She's from Tanzania. And they both came to the UK for a better life, as did their parents, and they met through a picture and they got married. So yeah. And I'm actually born in the Midlands. I'm not actually born in London. So my dad moved to London for work. And so we've been here ever since. And so now I run a marketing agency, and it's more of a public relations agency, but then we have other marketing services which we help to give businesses a solution on stuff that they're struggling with. So we offer many different services, and not all service will fit your business, as they say, because if every service of mine fits your business and you need that, then there's something seriously wrong with your business. So we have a solution to a problem that you may have in your business. So it could be anything from social media. You might need more leads. You might need more sales. You might need a website done. You know, you might need someone that needs creative animation, probably, because nowadays the videos are the way forward. And if you have a great animation as part of your business, that sometimes have like an explainer video, you know, stuff like that. So we do a lot of different things, but they all come together as one, because one cannot live without the other. So they kind of migrate nicely into each other. So that's what we do. And I'm also a founder of a record label called Audio Replay. And what we do is we give 100% income back into artists' pockets, and we will go into that a little bit later about why I give 100% into artists' pockets. Now, there's a reason behind that, and it's from past experiences, but it's to give artists a sustainable music career, because a lot of labels nowadays don't actually offer that. So we could dive a little bit deeper into that a little bit later.
We definitely will be.
But yeah, so those are the two businesses that I have.
Jesus. Business entrepreneur, just jumping and making businesses, helping people. I want to start with why. Why did you start into the entrepreneurial world? Were you always part of it? Was your family part of it, or are you a first generation entrepreneur? How did that start? Your entrepreneurial bug start?
Okay, so I'm going to take it way back to like when I was a child. So I don't know what it was, but my heart was never in studying. My heart was always in making money. I mean, I studied at college and I did business and finance, and I studied it up to intermediate level. So, and it came to a point where my heart just wasn't in it, and I went straight into work. But if I take it a bit further back from that, what happened was in the 90s here in the UK, we had a very heavy recession. We had a pretty bad recession. Yeah. And so what happened was a lot of businesses were affected, and a lot of people lost their incomes, and households lost their livelihoods and their homes. And unfortunately, my father was one of them. So my father was working for a very successful construction company in the UK, and my father was bringing in quite a lot of money. We had a really good lifestyle, and my father had 3 cars. He had 3 different colors of Mercedes cars, like in different models and that. And what happened was when the recession hit, the bank who we had the mortgage with came under a new management, and they were like, we need all the money, otherwise what's going to end up happening is that you are going to lose your house. Because what happened was my father had to send me and my sisters, because I've got 2 siblings this year, I've got 2 younger sisters, I'm the oldest out of 3. So they had to so my father sent me and my 2 sisters and my mother to my grandparents, because my grandfather was very ill, my grandmother was very old and she couldn't look after them. So my dad was left here in London. But what happened was, because of the recession, my dad fell behind on the repayments. So the mortgage company that was holding the mortgage said, you got to pay all up front. They didn't give my dad enough time to repay over a certain months, like a duration. Mm-hmm. So what happened was they repossessed the house. And I remember this one day where a gentleman came from the bank, and the house is all empty, all the furniture is gone into storage. And he goes to my dad, Mr. Singh, this is the hardest part of my job. Can I please have the keys to your house? So that, when he said that, I looked at my dad, and I looked at my mom, and my dad's a very strong person. He's a very, very strong guy, never shows his emotion. And my father's had a lot of pitfalls, but he's always dusted himself off, and he's always going forward. So what my father did was, he gave the keys and we left the house. And that image was always in my head. So I had it in myself. At the age of 13, I was 13, 14, that I'm going to become something and I want to be something. And what I want to do is I want to help people going forward. Hence, when I went into college, when I went to school, my heart just wasn't in it. I just wanted to go out there and make money. Mm-hmm. So if I fast forward a little bit, and if I come to, let's say, 2005 was when we bought the home that we live in now. And we pulled together as a family. And for 15 years from that point, we were struggling. We were being pushed from pillar to post. We were going from house to house to house. We were renting. Landlords were not being great. They were being very difficult. We were being pushed out, So it's like packing, unpacking, packing, unpacking. So in 2005 is when we bought the house. And then from there, I have worked. I've done 9-to-5 jobs. And it came to a point where I got a bit fed up. And I was like, I don't want to do this. But in 2008, we hit another recession. If you remember, excuse me, sorry, I've got something in my mouth.
It's all right. It could be from your beautiful beard. It is. If you're only listening to the audio version, Raj has his beautiful beard with a nice turned out mustache. I'm jealous of.
Thank you.
And it's so coiffed so well.
It takes ages to maintain,
I can only imagine. Your morning routine must be like an hour long.
There were no bats. I'm worse than a woman. But so in 2000, I believe it was for 2005 that we moved here, and then I worked for a bit, and then it came to a point where The recession hit in 2008. I was in a bad space. And in 2014, I went to Dubai for a bit of a break, clear my head, came back, and I thought, you know what?
Oh yeah, I'm just going to travel to Dubai, just
Yeah.
for us, for me in Canada, it's much more expensive to say, oh, I'm just going to travel to Dubai. I'm just going to go to Toronto to clear my head. That's how we do it because it's too expensive.
But you know what it is, Phil? The funny thing was, right, yeah, we were actually considering as a family to go anywhere, right? But it just happened so that my niece was getting married, and she goes, "I'm getting married in Dubai. Do you fancy coming?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" so we just went. It just gave an excuse to get away from all the negativity, right? So I went there, relaxed, had a bit of thought, and then I came back, and a very, very good friend of mine, we actually had a discussion around setting up a PR agency. So in 2014, we set up Xclusive PR, and that's when Xclusive PR was born. And the notion was to help artists to have a successful music career and market them correctly. So that's where Xclusive PR was born. And that's the reason why I thought, you know what, I want to get into this industry and I want to make something of myself, because I don't want my family to ever be in that position ever again. And since we bought this house, I think it's going to be 17, 18 years now, we've never been in that position. And a matter of fact, our trajectory has been going up as a family, and we've been successful in everything that we do now. And I'm thankful for that to God. And I'm very humble, and I'm really, really happy that where we are. I'm not rich, I'm comfortable. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's the most important. As long as you can take care of yourself and your loved ones, you're good.
Yes. And I think that when I mean I'm rich, I mean I'm rich because my family are so tight. It doesn't have to be monetary. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be monetary value. I've got value in my family that that in a crisis, what it showed me was that we came together and we pulled together and we bought the house. We didn't go our separate ways and start fighting over money. We came together and we bought a house together. So it was like our resilience to pull through and get the house. And when we finally did it, the happiness that I saw on my parents' face was priceless. That has no value in it. And that's what I mean that when I'm rich, because I've got great parents, and some Asian parents can be, where are you going? What are you doing? My parents are like, okay, go out, have a great time. Just make sure you come home safe and sound. That's it. So, and I think that even though the age that I am, you will always be a child to your parents.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So it's not
it never stops.
yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, so that's what I meant by I'm not wealthy, but I'm rich in terms of and I'm happy in terms of my family that I have. I'm really rich.
You get to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
What's more to ask in the world? So you've been in business since 2014, right? 2013, 2014. You've seen a lot of ups and downs.
Sure.
Like most businesses. What is one of those pain points that you've had to push through as an entrepreneur that you're super proud of?
I think it's you get a lot of rejections as a business, because we're in the service industry, you see. So for us, it's a little bit more difficult sometimes, because when you're offering a service, the first thing that person says is, "Oh, I can't afford it." And the thing is, well, we can't work for free because everybody has to eat. Everyone's got bills to pay.
Yeah.
But what we did as a business was that when we had clients come to us, we would just give them value anyway. We would give them like consultations, and we wouldn't charge them for it. And then that became part of our business model, that we will start giving free value to clients. And what that will do then in turn is, if they could implement that themselves, they would then come back to us. So what we have done is we've been quite resilient in what we've done. And I think our structure as a business since 2014 to now we're in 2021 has changed quite vastly. And I think going forward into 2022, we have a lot of other things planned, and we're doing a lot of other things now as well. I mean, I've spent so much money on my house. I've got a business suite at the back of my house that I've built, and I'm going to start doing a lot of video blogging now. So I'm going to be doing like a lot of video marketing tips, and then I've set up a new YouTube channel where we're going to be putting out like a lot of value tips for businesses. So if you're stuck on something, you could type it into Google or into YouTube, and you should find a video that will come up which will resonate with you, hopefully from my channel. So in terms of the struggles we've had is like basically COVID was one of them. And I would say businesses that were coming out of, because don't forget the recession was only in 2008 and my agency launched literally 5 years later. So some businesses were still struggling during that period because businesses still didn't have the level of capital and income. So some of them had really low budgets, and we couldn't work with those budgets, unfortunately. So for us, it was a little bit hard to reject people as well, to say, look, we can't help you, unfortunately, but do come back to us when you have a larger budget. But we've restructured everything now in a way that it's a lot more affordable. So our social media packages now are quite affordable for businesses on a monthly retainer. We would like to think that we're quite competitive in price, but we also offer a lot of value. And I think the value that we offer is our knowledge, experience, and expertise in order to get you the results that you desire. And I think that as a business that we are quite proud of that. There is something else which I can't mention just yet. And I've been saying this, as you know very well, Phil. I've been saying it in the Clubhouse room. I've got this announcement to make. And just yesterday, something was delivered. I'm just waiting on 1 or 2 loose ends to be tied up, and then I'll be able to announce that very soon. So just keep an eye out on the socials, and it will give you an idea of like why I'm so proud of like where we are today, because this thing that we've received is absolutely amazing. I never thought that we would actually get this.
Oh, I'm looking forward to when the announcement comes. Obviously, by the time this probably drops, everybody's going to be know what it is. But I don't want you to spoil it. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Raj,
sure.
For people jumping into the entrepreneurial world, because you've been doing it since 2014, what is a tip you would give them? Like, if I'm about to walk into the entrepreneurial world, I have no idea what I'm doing, what is something you would suggest to them?
I would say, first of all, look at what you want to offer and who you want to offer it to. So, for example, the reason why I'm offering marketing services is because I'm in the music industry as well. So I'm a trained music producer. I'm a drummer, so I play the Punjabi drums. I'm a DJ. We will dive into that a little bit later. But from my past experiences is why I started off an agency, and I wanted to offer services. But then it evolved into helping businesses because of people around me were struggling with marketing and they were losing their livelihoods during COVID and stuff like that, even way before that. So I would say look at what you have to offer, right? And then I would say look at your target audience. And then the third thing I would do is just basically look at having a business plan, because I think businesses get started without having a plan. And without having a plan and having a direction of where you want to go, I think that's a little bit difficult. And then the fourth thing you can look at is funding, because I think funding is the most important thing that actually stops businesses. Now, here in the UK, there is a vast amounts of funding available because we have like the Princess Trust, we have startup business loans, we have grants available, we have, there's one other one, I can't remember now on the top of my head, but there's about 4 or 5 different options we have, plus there's crowdfunding as well. So there are options to get funding together, and then you can look at having a structure for your business, because if you don't have a structure in your business, then what happens is you're just throwing darts in the dark and you're hoping for the best. Now, everyone that I speak to, they don't know how to target their audience. And you could target your audience very simply by asking questions of like, what do they want to see from me? What do they want from me? Now, there was this product company that came to me, and there was it's a leaf, I think, from Africa, which helps with certain problems within the human body. When I spoke to this business, I said to them, use your target audience. And he goes, this is my demographic, this is my audience. I goes, are you educating them? And he goes, no. I goes, well, you need to put education content out, because they won't know what this product is in order for them to buy them. You see, so in order for you to draw them in, you need to educate your audience to say, this is the product, so this is the problem, these are the benefits, and this is how it's going to solve your problem. So you've got a solution to a problem, and that's what you've got to offer. So I think nowadays, everyone has a problem, and if you've got a solution to that, that would be great. But if you're an entertainer, or if you're an artist or someone like that, then your business plan is going to be very different, because you've got a fan base to target. And in that fan base, you've got to think about what demographic are they, what age group are they, what kind of music do they like? Sometimes as a business owner, it's good to have an avatar. And I think people are going to be scratching their heads now thinking, what's an avatar? An avatar is a fictional character, and a fictional character of who your ideal customer is, who your ideal client is. And then you go after that customer by doing certain marketing strategies. But in order to do that, you need to have a plan, because without a plan, you cannot execute your target audience, if that makes sense.
No, perfectly. It does. Make perfect sense. I do want to jump in because you do have you're the founder of a music label. I want to talk to you about why you started that and what your label does to put the money back into the pockets of its artists.
Sure. So I'm going to go back as far as 2004. So 2004 is when I got into the music industry. But even if I got further back to that, I got into music at the age of, I would say, 23. Okay. And so I started off playing the drums because I would go to weddings and parties and I would see these drums drumming away. So if you guys go to my Instagram, you will see there are some drumming videos that I was doing during the lockdown last year for the NHS. So in the UK, we had this NHS clap where everybody came out and they clapped for about 5 minutes. So what I did, I took my drums out and I would start drumming for about 5-10 minutes. And that's the way I got my appreciation of the NHS. And there's about 7 or 8 videos, I think, on my Instagram. You have to find them on my IG just to get an idea of what they are. So I started drumming, and in 2004 is when I got approached by one of my friends to do a track. So we kind of tested the market, and we thought, okay, we could do this. And then we went back into the studio and we started producing. We released our first debut single as a duo, and that was in 2009. And what happened was the studio that we went to, they actually had a record label, and the record label had marketing services associated to that. So we said to them, okay, do you know anyone that's looking for any artists? Because we want to sign to a label. And said, do you know any PR companies? They go, yeah, actually, we do it. So we were like, okay, let us think over it, and we will basically come back to you. So we thought about it. And you know, like the saying, when they dangle a carrot to draw you in, they dangle the carrot. And that carrot was that we could get your radio, we could get your TV, we get you here, we get you there. You have so much exposure, right? Okay, that's fantastic. It would take the headache away from us. We could focus on our next single. So we gave the responsibility to the label. They done our artwork, they pressed our CDs, and we thought, great. So we started going out and distributing our CDs. And then all of a sudden, one of my mates calls me and he goes, Raj, where are you? I go, I'm at a booking, because I was playing the drums at a booking. And I said, what's up? And he goes, I've got to talk to you. Can you talk? I go, yeah. So I went to a private room and I goes, what's up? He goes, our track's playing on radio, but that's great, isn't it? He goes, yeah, it's playing on radio, but we didn't get the credit. I go, what do you mean we didn't get the credit? He goes, the engineer got the credit. So we got shafted, right? So what actually happened was we went to an engineer to produce the track. He engineered the song for us and we produced it. We did all the research. We took all the samples. We gave him the direction in how he wanted the track. He mastered it, mixed it, mastered it, engineered it, and he got the credit, right? And the track was played on the BBC, which actually pays out the royalty. So we contacted the label and we go, what's going on? Why have they got the credit? Why didn't we get it? And they thought, it's not up to us, it's up to the presenters. But the cracks were starting to clear. And the truth was that the presenter that played it knew them very well. They were very good friends. So they gave the credit to the engineer. So then we took the tracks here and we were like, you know what? Forget this. Give us our money back and give us our music and we will go promote it ourselves. They didn't give us our money back, so we lost our money. So what we did was we went on Google. We searched for all of the radio stations in the UK that played Asian music, Punjabi music, and we created our own mailing list. And then what we did was over a space of 8 weeks, right, every weekend, we went up and down the country and we were handing out our CDs to these radio stations physically. So one weekend we would go, let's say London, another weekend we would go to the Midlands and so forth. So we did each catchment area. And then when we did that, we ended up building a mailing list. And I thought to myself, you know what, we could actually set up our own label, right? And we could set up our own DJ business. So whilst that track was out, we also set up a separate record label, but that's my friend's label. So I helped him brand his own label and I helped him brand his own DJ business. Mm-hmm. So in 2010 is when I released my debut single on my own. And what happened was I started working for a PR company. I was working for a PR company for about 2 years. And this PR company said, look, we will give you a 50% share. Come and join us. Do your marketing. But at the same time, you could help us promote Asian artists. We were, all right, cool. So my role was as an account manager, and I brought in artists from the UK into the business. We helped market them. But ultimately, again, I got shafted. So what happened was they kicked me out of the company. I lost my 50% share in the business. The director of the company, he actually set up a record label to release my single under. He took that label away from me. And it was like, this label ain't yours, it's mine. I've designed the logo and I've created a brand, so I'm going to keep it. I tried to buy it off him. He wouldn't let me buy it off him. So what happened was ultimately I lost money there. And then what happened was in 2016 is when I launched Audio Replay. So the idea of Audio Replay was to help artists not go through the same issues that I went through, because I lost a lot of money. So the way Audio Replay works now is that when you sign to the label, everything is contracted. So we have contracts for PR and we have contracts for the record label. Because when we were doing our music, we were novices. We didn't sign. We got very happy and excited. We got contracts now. And what we say to the artist is that sign this contract. In this contract is going to be exactly what you get. And in that contract, in that contract is that we will give you 100% of income back in your pockets. And the way we do that is by getting the tracks, registering it correctly. So the PPO and the PRS in the UK, they get the registration. And then what we do is any royalties that come through, like let's say streaming through Spotify, sales, any royalties through radio, airplay, TV, right? It goes into a pot. The way it works is the PPO and the PRS pay differently. So the PPO pay every 9 months to 12 months. The PRS pay every quarterly. So what we then do is we get that money and we transfer it into the artist accounts. What we're also doing now is if we help an artist set up another revenue stream, that will go into their account as well. And what I'm also getting involved in now is in the UK, I'm trying to partner up with someone to do NFTs. And NFTs is a digital asset, which is like a blockchain. Yeah. And what I'm trying to do now is any artist that signs to my record label, if they go into the NFT space, they keep 100% of their income because it protects them from any piracy or copyright. But at the same time, it helps them get 100% of their income. So none of these Spotify or Apple can take a percentage of their income. So what happens is they retain 100% of, let's say, if it's 99 cents and they get over 50,000 buys or streams, they keep it all because it's under the NFT, a blockchain. So I'm trying to help artists that way. And the reason why I'm doing that is for them to have a sustainable music career and they will make the same mistakes or go through the same issues that I went through in my music journey that I went through.
I love it. It's a great idea. I love it because I have a lot of musician friends as well who have gone through issues like that, and seeing an entrepreneur like yourself feel that. And we've had other entrepreneurs in the music space as well come on and share their vision for their business. And there's enough artists for everybody in the world because you're going after a specific niche and type of artist, just like they are. So love it. And again, your avatar. We are coming up to near the end here, Raj. So I do want to get out here. My personal question that I always like to ask, because I'm selfish this way, but it also helps my listeners know what books to learn from. What is a book or maybe an author that you would suggest budding entrepreneurs to read?
Do you know what it is? I'm not much of a book reader, if I'm honest. I'm not much of a reader. I get most of my knowledge from. I've got a business coach in my team.
Okay.
See? So, and he's a business coach and he's a digital marketing strategist. So all of the public relations stuff is what I do, and social media stuff is what I do as well, because I've learned as I've been doing business myself. But the digital side of it is what he actually does. And a lot of the knowledge that I've gained over the last 7 years or 8 years or so is a lot of the knowledge has come from him. And some of it is through just Googling stuff on internet and looking at, stuff on YouTube and just reading online. But I wouldn't say I specifically have read any entrepreneurial books. But I would say, if there is any books out there on how to start a business, I would strongly suggest looking at books that are on that kind of genre, because what that does is it strips it down and it tells you what you need to, and even like business forecasting, like finance, it tells you how to get funding into a business. So I would look at how to start up a business or how to become an entrepreneur. Those kind of books. I'm not much of a book reader, so I'm really I'm really sorry, Phil. That was really helpful.
No, it's fine. It's like you said, you get your knowledge from different sources. You get it from doing the YouTube videos, quick Google articles, or even your business coach that is part of your business. So that's where you're getting your knowledge. Where some, like myself, I love reading because it's just the way I am. But anyways, Raj, I'm going to jump off the screen here. I'm going to give you the last little bit. Tell my audience where they can find you, how they can get in contact with you if they want to work with you.
Thank you, Phil. So, guys, you could get in touch with me via my Instagram. That's Xclusive PR UK. You could get in touch with me at Facebook. That's Xclusive PR. You can also get in touch with me on LinkedIn. That's Raj Singh, Xclusive PR. And you can also hit me up on my email, which is info@xclusivepr.com. Thank you.
Excellent. Everybody, of course, the links will be in the show notes down below. I want to thank Raj for being such an amazing guest here and sharing his story about entrepreneurship and dealing with the little kerfuffle I had with my headset dying on me and me going back to the old school headphones. Ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Phil Better. This is Invest in Yourself, the digital entrepreneur podcast that helps you understand how to become an entrepreneur by interviewing digital entrepreneurs. So I want to thank you so much for listening and make sure to invest in yourself. Hey, everybody. I want to thank you so much for watching the show and listening to the podcast. As a thank you, remember, you can always head over to my website, fulfillment.If, and get free 15 minutes with me to talk about how you can grow your podcast, how to monetize your podcast, or even how to start your podcast. I have helped lots of people, and I want to help you do the same for your business or just for your personal brand. So again, that is fulfillment.If. Head over there, book your free 15 minutes, and it'll be a pleasure to help you out. Have a good night, and remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.